Hey beauties, welcome back. Today we're going to be testing out the not so new but new to me Lancome Skin Feels Good Tinted Moisturizer. It says natural coverage for a healthy glow, smoother, softer complexion, reduces signs of fatigue, formulated with hyaluronic acid and antioxidants. So if you want to see how this wore on my skin, then just continue to keep on watching. So of course we're going to prep and prime the skin with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. Let that dry for a second. Go in with the Dr. Brandt Pores No More, just like I would do any other of my foundations. I love this stuff. I always switch between this one and the Haley's Beauty Primer. Either one is just as good. I love them both equally, and they do kind of the same thing. So just putting that in the T-zone like normal and rubbing that into the skin. Both sides of my nose, I have larger pores. I do have combo to oily skin, so I have to have some kind of pore filler primer. Pore filling primer, I should say. But always put that just straight in the T-zone on the smile lines, and sides of my nose is where I have the biggest pores, so make sure that that area is nice and covered. And moving on, that is the skin tint. One side is the nude vanilla shade and the other one is natural blonde. And definitely not going to use the natural blonde because I'm thinking already the nude vanilla is a little too dark for me. Just dotting that all over the face like I would any other normal foundation, even though this is a skin tint. And going in with that is a Wet n Wild sponge. Pouncing that in the face like I would do any other foundation. And while I was putting this on, it literally felt like a burst of water every time I pounced my face. It was really nice, actually. Felt like water all over the face. So I'm sure if you have dry to normal skin, this would be super nice feeling on your skin, because I have combo to oily and it was still super nice feeling on my skin. So I really appreciated that. And going into like colder months here, it felt really nice. Just going ahead and pouncing that all over the face like I would do any normal foundation. And I noticed right here that the color is off and too warm tone and too dark for me. But we're going to make it work. So just moving on. Making sure that's melted into the skin. And it didn't have to be worked into the skin. Like it literally melted. But right here you can see the color is just too dark. Put a little bit more. I'm going to try to see if we can build this up, even though this says natural coverage. It's light coverage. And I don't have too much to cover, so I don't mind things that are light coverage. Just depends how they look. So just a few more dots to see how and if we can build this up, which I normally don't build up my foundations. But since this is technically a skin tint, it's so lightweight that it just melted into my skin even with that second layer. And felt really nice. And as you can see, it's just like gliding on into the skin. And it felt like whipped gel or something like that, like some kind of serum I would put on at night. It was actually really nice feeling. So it was a little tacky, so just making sure like there's no streaks or lines or anything, but you can see it looks just like my skin. And just like it says skin feels good, it really did. It felt nice, but that color was throwing me off a little bit. But if I like this foundation by the end of this video, I will be going to purchase the right shade. So for today's video and for the sake of the video, we're going to make this work. So not paying attention too much to the color, but looking at how my skin looks. This looks just like my skin, but better. I mean, there's no cakiness, no makeup looking. I mean, it looks like my skin. I was very wowed by it. For it to be such light coverage. And moving on, like I would normally do with any other foundation, gonna go in with that Dose of Colors concealer. That's in the shade 003 Fair. This is my favorite concealer of life. It has the least amount of creasing that I've ever used. And just wanted to see how this concealer that I know, trust, and love was going to sit on top of this skin tint. Or tinted moisturizer. Is what I was really trying to see here. Because I know this concealer looks flawless. So I wanted to use one that I know that I love and trust, just to see how it would set on top of this. Going right under the eye. And I always just dot right up under my eye, just if I have any blueness or anything like that. I never do a triangle under my eye or anything like that. I do have fine lines. And if I put more concealer on my face, it just looks cakey. Same thing with the other eye. And if you could see right here, I do have fine lines when I smile. I never put concealer out there, only in the middle. Anytime you have fine lines like that, and you put extra product on it, extra concealer, extra powder, it actually makes it look worse, not hiding it. So I never do that. But we are going to move on and mix both of these setting powders, the Hailey's Beauty and the e.l.f. Halo Glow. Just like I would normally do with any other foundation. And we're going to see how this looks on my skin. But at this point, I'm pretty impressed. It is a little tacky. So we're going to let that dry. Just for a minute or two. I didn't want to put powder, especially loose powder, right on the face. And it being just a little bit tacky. So giving it a minute to set down. And at that point, it felt a little bit better. So moving on with those two mixtures of powder. Right where we put that concealer. And over the eye. Same thing with the other eye. But we are going to set the whole face with this mixture, both of the Hailey's Beauty and the Halo Glow from e.l.f. So what I would normally do. I want to give this tinted moisturizer a fair chance. And to be honest, 100%, I did not have high hopes for this at all. I have combo to oily skin, and stuff like this usually doesn't work for me. So I wasn't looking for anything too great, but was going to give it a fair chance, just like I do any of my other foundations that I try out. So setting the rest of the face with that same powder. And I love to set my face with powder like that, loose setting powder with a sponge. If you have never tried that, you should, because it makes your face look airbrushed instead of using a brush. It's just the same sponge. I didn't wash it, change it, anything. The same exact sponge, and my face literally did look airbrushed. Just that color was off, but up close you can see that concealer looks like my skin. That skin tint looks like my skin. It doesn't look like makeup at all, which was it impressed me. I looked in the mirror close at my skin, showing right here, it looks just like skin. I don't know what to keep saying. It just shocked me. So we're going to move on with the rest of the face. Going to finish the rest of the face off camera, but we'll list all the products in the description box. I'm back. This is the finished makeup look. This foundation, I'm on Sephora's website. It says comes in 11 shades. A hydrating and oil-free foundation with SPF 23, is infused with antioxidants, is lightweight and ideal for that no makeup look, which I do agree to. I didn't think I was going to like it because it said light coverage, but actually looks just like my skin, but a lot better. We're going to do the whole 12-hour wear test. Everything went on beautifully. My highlighter, bronzer, blush, powder, concealer, everything. I actually kind of like it and didn't think I would. I did use the shade Nude Vanilla, which is a little dark. And the finish is radiant. And right now on Sephora's website, it's on sale or clearance, I'm not sure, for $17.50. So there it is. Besides the color being a little off, looks like my skin, and I do like it so far. So we'll do a check-in in another 4 hours and we'll see how it goes. Hey guys, just a quick check-in. I've had this makeup on now for about 7 hours. As you can see, yes, I look a little greasy in the T-zone, but it still looks like my skin. I wore a mask earlier, I had to run out and do a few errands. A little bit came off my nose, but not bad for what it is, a tinted moisturizer foundation. And actually, I still like it. I might even go out and get the right shade, because this one was a little too dark, but we'll do another check-in around the 11-12 hour mark. So yep, see you then. So far, so good. Hey guys, I'm back with the last check-in. I've had this makeup on now for 13 hours and still looks like my skin, although looks like it needs to come off. It's not bad. I have foundations that don't last this good. Although the color is off, it looked beautiful all day. It looked like my skin. I can't believe that this is a tinted moisturizer, because this lasts better than some of my regular foundations. So would I recommend this? Absolutely. And I actually really like it, except for the color part, which I'm gonna go get my shade. So yep, give this one a thumbs up and thanks for watching.